Dear enlightened ones, within the endless flow of the universe, there are years that pass as quietly as drifting clouds, leaving no trace behind. Yet, there are also years that resound like a sacred bell echoing through heaven and earth, awakening every slumbering soul. The year 2025 is such a year, a once-in-a-millennium turning point, a sacred era written into the rhythm of the cosmos. This is not because of prophecy or speculation, but because 2025 marks the opening of a mysterious cosmic gate, a divine moment when the universe rings the bell of purification across all realms of existence. Here on the Great Purification channel, we invite you to walk together on this journey, to understand, awaken, and align with the vibration of truth that is unfolding before our eyes. If these messages resonate with your heart, we welcome you to subscribe, share, and become part of this circle of light, for the time of awakening has already begun. We have already crossed more than half of this extraordinary year, and each passing day bears witness to what the ancient prophecies foretold. Natural disasters intensify, wars escalate, economies fracture, moral foundations tremble, and human minds grow restless and uncertain. All of these are signs, unmistakable proof that the Great Purification is not a story of the future. It is happening now, hour by hour, moment by moment, and it will reach its climax in the final months of 2025, a year that comes once in 5,000 years. Why this year? Why is it called the sacred year? Let the numbers speak for themselves. 2025 is the product of 45 multiplied by 45, and it is also the sum of the cubes of numbers from 1 to 9. In the wisdom of the ancients, this is no coincidence. It represents the completion of a great cosmic cycle. The sum from 1 to 9 reflects the full journey of human existence. When that journey multiplies by itself, it symbolizes both an ending and a beginning, the closing of one great chapter and the opening of another. In Eastern metaphysics, the number 9 represents the extreme yang, the moment of fullness before returning to the source. Thus, this year stands as a cosmic threshold, the point of convergence where illusion is dissolved and truth is revealed. History has shown that every great shift in human evolution is preceded by upheaval. The 20th century witnessed 2 world wars. The 21st began with pandemics, global conflicts, and financial collapses, each wave greater than the last. Now in 2025, those waves have merged into one vast cosmic storm, the final purification, impossible to evade. Yet remember, purification is not destruction. It is cleansing. It is renewal. It is the shedding of decay that has accumulated for centuries. Just as a sick body must endure a fever to expel its toxins, the world too is experiencing a fever, a sacred crisis meant to purge, to heal, and to renew the spiritual blood of humanity. The Tao Te Ching reminds us, when something reaches its extreme, it turns to its opposite. That is the eternal law. This year marks the turning point. Humanity has gone too far, consumed by greed, arrogance, and the exploitation of nature and the soul. The Great Purification is not punishment. It is the inevitable response of the cosmos restoring balance. More than half the year has passed, and the signs are undeniable. Glaciers melt at unprecedented rates, floods ravage nations, new plagues emerge, political turmoil spreads, and within human hearts, emptiness and despair take root. These are no longer warnings. They are the reality of an ongoing transformation. The great wheel of purification is turning faster as the year draws to its end. In such a time, those who live unconsciously will fall into chaos, while those who awaken will see clearly that this is the moment to return to truth, to the moral essence of being. There is no need for argument or noise. Simply cleanse the mind, release what is false, and stand firm like the pine tree in winter. Flexible like water flowing through stone. This is the only way to walk through the Great Purification without being swept away. Some may ask, is this superstition or coincidence? The answer is neither. The universe does not speak in accidents. How could it be mere chance that 2025 is both a perfect square and a sum of cubes? A year with 2 spring beginnings and the rare leap year cycle. These are cosmic codes, celestial signatures embedded in the flow of time to announce that the hour has come. The Great Purification is like the receding tide, revealing what lies beneath the riverbed. In that moment, falsehood trembles while truth stands serene. The greedy are dragged along, while those who have let go find peace. Such is the essence of purification. None can escape, yet all may transcend by returning to the heart. Therefore, the most precious treasure in this once-in-5,000-year turning is not wealth, not fame, but awakening. It is the ability to look inward, to see clearly the ego, to release what no longer serves, and to live authentically, unshaken in the storm of change. That inner strength is the true reward, the divine power of the soul that knows loss is illusion, and rebirth is truth. In times of peace, cultivation of the spirit is a lifelong path. But in this year of purification, every breath, every thought, every movement is part of the great practice, for all is laid bare under the light of truth. If you are among those still breathing, still aware in this sacred year, count it as a blessing, a rare chance for deep cleansing, a great assembly of souls across time. This is the cosmic bell ringing only for those with the heart to hear. Once in a millennium, and we live it now. So awaken, look around, let go, return within. For in the storm of purification, only those who cleanse their hearts shall move forward into the dawn that follows. This is the Great Purification, where the ancient and the eternal meet, and where every awakened soul is called to rise. And perhaps it is from this very year that a new millennium will begin. A new humanity, a new light, a new era, born from the silent yet magnificent awakening of the Great Purification. To understand this divine transformation, we must look deeper into the hidden codes of the universe, for at its core, existence itself is the symphony of mathematical frequencies. Let us now journey together into the next chapter, where squares and cubes are no longer dry symbols of arithmetic, but sacred signs, preserving the secrets of cosmic order. Beloved ones, within the ancient wisdom of our ancestors, numbers were never mere instruments of calculation. They were the language of heaven, the red thread connecting the human mind to the heartbeat of the cosmos. Every number carries a frequency. Every sequence is an invisible melody. And the year 2025 is one such melody, layered with meaning, pulsing with hidden harmony that transcends human logic. We have already crossed halfway through this extraordinary year. The signs of purification are no longer prophecies, they are reality. Disasters multiply, climates collapse, morality cracks, economies tremble, and the human heart sinks into confusion. When every layer of life vibrates in dissonance, it becomes clear that the Great Purification is unfolding, and it will only intensify as the year draws to its close. Listen carefully to the language of numbers. 2025 is not just a mark in time, it is 45 multiplied by 45, and 45 itself is the sum of all numbers from 1 to 9, the complete journey of life, from origin to fulfillment. When that journey is multiplied by itself, it signifies the closing of one cycle and the opening of another. But that is not all. 2025 is also the sum of the cubes of numbers from 1 to 9. If squaring represents the surface, the outer expression, then cubing represents depth, the essence within. Thus, this year holds both the wholeness of the outer world and the profound transformation of the inner soul. It is the universe declaring that this shift is not merely external, it is a renewal from the roots of body and spirit alike. Such a convergence, where both the square and the cube align perfectly, is exceedingly rare. It happens only once in a millennium. The last was 1936. The next will be 30,025. Between them stretches 1,000 years of cosmic time. And we, right now, are living in this sacred intersection, the divine alignment foreseen by the ancients. Is it not fate, then, that our souls chose to incarnate in the very age of the Great Purification? The ancients studied numbers to read heaven's will, understanding that strange patterns in arithmetic are nothing less than celestial messages of transformation. If the sequence from 1 to 9 represents the 9 layers of human experience, then 45 is the point of their convergence. And when that convergence multiplies itself, transmutation becomes inevitable. That is why this year is called the once-in-5,000-year cycle. And what do we see in the physical world today? Societies trembling, values collapsing, trust shattered, humanity searching for identity, questioning truth, meaning, and the way of life itself. These are not random events. They are signs that the collective soul of humankind is undergoing its test of purification. The universe does not knock with thunder. It speaks in numbers, in synchronicities, in the silent questions echoing within every heart. Those who are awake will see this as no coincidence. Those who are sincere will know that this moment is a divine invitation. A millennium passes but once, and that once is happening now, in the rhythm of our breath. Each soul is sitting for an invisible examination. There are no schools, no certificates, only the result that determines the direction of evolution. Those who can release and preserve the light will ascend. Those who cling to the old will repeat the lesson. Beloved souls, the numbers of this year are not mere symbols. They are a map, a doorway, a call from the divine. And the key to that door lies nowhere outside. It rests quietly within each person's heart. Those who grip the past too tightly cannot step into the future. Only the ones who let go of judgment can hear the language of the universe. Do not fear this purification. It is not destruction. It is illumination. It is the cleansing rain, the purging fever that expels what no longer serves. Those who understand will feel grace. Those who resist will feel pain. The question is not whether we survive this year. It is whether we awaken. Whether we can look within and answer, truthfully and tenderly. Have I forgiven? Have I loved fully? Have I lived by my own light? If the answer is yes, then you have already solved the riddle of the soul that 2025 presents. And when that riddle is solved, the Great Purification no longer feels like chaos. It becomes a gentle stream that cleanses, a wind that carries new fragrance, a bell that heralds dawn. 1 year may seem small, yet a single year, once in 5,000, can shift the entire destiny of the world. It is the pillar of fate, the bridge between worlds, the torch by the traveler of time. And the wind now rising is none other than the wind of 2025. The wind of purification, the wind of truth, the wind of light. We have already passed the halfway mark of this extraordinary year, and the great turning continues. As we move closer to the year's end, the tremors will grow stronger, yet so too will the clarity, for those who keep faith and know deep down that they are not abandoned. All it takes is an open heart, a quiet return inward, and from within these numbers, within this great purification, a new path will begin to shine forth. If numerology is the invisible code, then the celestial patterns and ancient calendars are the visible maps of heaven. This year is unique not only because of its numbers, but also because of the divine orchestration in the heavens, a year marked by 2 springs and a rare leap month. Let us step now into the next chapter, where we decode the heavenly signs of 2025, to see that the Great Purification is not just a concept. It has already been engraved upon the very wheel of time. Dear souls, since ancient days, the lunar calendar was never merely a tool for tracking the seasons. It was a gateway to the rhythm of heaven and earth. Every movement of the moon and stars, every passage of solar energy is a subtle knock from the hand of creation itself, reminding humankind to live in harmony with the cosmic pulse. As we step through 2025, and as humanity passes beyond its midpoint, the clock of heaven strikes an extraordinary tone, one that few generations ever hear. A year with 2 springs, a leap month, and a total length of 384 days. This is not a coincidence in calendrical calculation. It is a secret message from heaven, whispering that the once-in-the-millennium Great Purification is upon us, and it is now moving with greater force than ever before. Spring, in ancient cosmology, marks the opening breath of heaven's energy, the beginning of all 24 solar terms, the moment of awakening and renewal. Yet this year, something extraordinary unfolds. 2 spring beginnings, one in early February of this year and another on February 4th of the next. 2 openings, 2 awakenings, as though heaven itself repeats the call, offering humanity one more chance to awaken. The first was a whisper, the second, a shout. But if humankind still turns away, the next chance will not come for another 1,000 years. And beyond that, we have the leap month, a divine grace written into time itself. In ancient wisdom, the leap month represents an extra breath from heaven, a pause to reflect, to correct, to realign. It arrives this year in June, the heart of the year, the still point in the wheel of change. It is the universe's gentle invitation to stop, to look back at the first half of the year, to see how far we have drifted, and to decide if we dare to change course before it's too late. In the physical world, we have seen its mirror. Japan and the United Kingdom both declared technical recessions in the second quarter. Global stock markets burned red as confidence collapsed. The leap month becomes then a silent punctuation, a divine pause for the world to reflect on the road it has chosen. A normal year has 365 days, but this year, heaven added 19 more, making 384 in total, a gift, not a coincidence. It is as if the Creator has stretched time itself, granting humanity an extended season to cleanse what has decayed. And indeed, before our eyes, the United Nations reports over 13 million people displaced in just 6 months due to wars and natural disasters. Europe faces record-breaking heat waves, with wildfires consuming millions of hectares. Meanwhile, Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh endure catastrophic floods, leaving hundreds of thousands without homes. Natural disasters are no longer words on a page. They are the pounding heartbeat of the planet, calling humanity to awaken. Those who can read the language of heaven will know. None of this is random. 2 springs, 2 cosmic calls. A leap month, a rare chance to amend our path. Extended time, a remedy prescribed by heaven for a world gravely ill, a sacred detox for a humanity long burdened by its own toxicity. But if we fail to listen, the healing will turn into suffering, and the pain may become irreversible. Already we see it. The year passes, yet political crises deepen across continents, border conflicts escalate. The FAO reports global food prices rising nearly 10% year over year. Civil unrest spreads from South America to Africa. Protests, riots, bank closures, trust collapsing. Every sound, every movement now forms a thunderous symphony of the Great Purification rising to its peak. This Great Purification is not merely climate upheaval or economic turmoil. It is the retuning of the universe itself. When the calendar holds 2 springs, the soul is given 2 chances to be reborn. When the year holds a leap month, humanity receives a sacred pause to reflect, to choose, to realign. And when time itself is extended, it is heaven's way of saying, mercy is running short. This is the final grace period before the great wave completes its cycle. How then should we live in such a rare and sacred year? Not by doing more, but by living more deeply. Not by running faster, but by walking truer. The leap month was never meant for haste. It was given so that we might stop, reflect, and release. 2 springs in 1 year mean 2 chances of rebirth within a single lifetime. The extra stretch of time is not a coincidence. It is an invitation to awaken. To ignore it is to miss a celestial rhythm that may not return for another 1,000 years. Dear ones, the Great Purification does not force anyone, but it also does not wait. It continues until humanity truly transforms from within. And the year 2025 stands as undeniable proof of this sacred process. When time itself expands, when chances are given anew, when nature, politics, and the world's systems all tremble at once, this is when the universe no longer speaks through symbols, but through events. Those who are attuned will understand. The 2 springs are 2 bells calling the soul to rise. The leap month is a breath for reflection, and the 384 days are a divine gift, so that humankind may not only survive, but be reborn. Whoever can read this silent letter from the cosmos will pass through the Great Purification with peace in the heart. Those who turn away will have to begin again in the next great cycle. And when the lunar calendar itself has spoken, we see that purification is not confined to spirit alone. It is imprinted in the breath of heaven and earth. The next step, then, is not merely to study numerology or the ancient calendar, but to read the great feng shui of destiny itself, where the celestial symbols of 2025 reveal the green serpent coiled within the fire of the sacred lamp, a sign of divine flame and cosmic renewal. Let us move deeper now to unveil why that flame is the living seal of the Great Purification, still blazing powerfully as the year draws to its close. Esteemed souls, when heavenly timing has opened and the lunar rhythm has sounded its call to awakening, feng shui becomes the ancient map of energy passed down to guide humanity through this unparalleled purification. The year 2025 is not merely a marker of time. It is a convergence of powerful energies embodied by 2 symbols, the green serpent and the fire of the sacred lamp. These 2 are both earthly and divine, touching the realm of spirit while illuminating the world of form. And as humanity moves past the midpoint of the year, these vibrations can be felt ever more vividly. The Great Purification is not slowing, it is rising in intensity. The green serpent, representing the earthly branch of Ti, carries the wisdom of adaptability, transformation, and quiet strength. It does not boast, yet it endures. The serpent sheds its skin in silence, emerging renewed from the darkness, an embodiment of evolution itself. This is the energy of inner alchemy, of steady endurance. In a world shaken by political unrest from Eastern Europe to the Middle East, with millions displaced by war and chaos, the green serpent reminds us, to survive, we must know how to release the old, to shed our former identities, and prepare for a new cycle of being. The fire of the sacred lamp, gentle yet unwavering, is the small light that burns through the longest night. Unlike the sun, it does not blind, but it warms, it guides, it sustains faith. Fuk means blessing, Dung means light, and Hua means fire. Together, they form the flame of inner faith that keeps humanity alive amid turmoil. In this time of upheaval, that inner fire becomes the quiet force that dispels despair. Reality has made this truth clear. When floods devastated South Asia, when extreme drought gripped Syria and wheat yields fell by half, when global food prices rose nearly 10% in the first half of the year, it was that inner flame alone that kept hearts steady. When the green serpent coils beside the fire of the sacred lamp, the universe sends two messages. Move slowly but surely, and act quietly yet firmly. Wood creates fire, and when the green serpent meets the sacred flame, a cycle of purification begins. Not loud, but deep. Not dramatic, but enduring. Many people are already sensing this shift. They simplify their lives, turn inward, declutter their homes, and care for their minds and bodies. This is purification taking form in the midst of daily life. Feng Shui this year is no longer just about direction or color. It is about harmony between soul and environment. Those who understand this energy make gentle adjustments around them to restore peace and clarity. They favor soft light over glare, bring greenery into their homes to nourish wood energy, and use red, pink, or green tones sparingly to keep balance and hope alive. They realize that designing a space is, in truth, designing the soul itself. While protests surge in South America, banks collapse across Africa, and wildfires ravage Europe's summer, creating a tranquil home has become an act of spiritual alignment. The Great Purification is never easy. It burns away illusions so truth can rise. The green serpent does not roar, it coils and transforms. The oil lamp does not explode in flame, it glows gently. Yet it is that quiet glow that endures the longest. Those who are wise do not resist the flow, but move with it. They release what destroys them, allowing the light of the sacred fire to guide their way, the serpent to remind them of rebirth, and the universe to cleanse all that is false. Thus, in this rare year, Feng Shui becomes the art of awakened living. Seekers no longer meditate only within, but harmonize the world around them, simplifying, purifying, aligning. The green serpent and the fire of the sacred lamp are not mere myths. They are signs, maps, and guiding winds. Subtle forces steering the soul's vessel safely through the storm. The year 2025, therefore, is not an ordinary year. It is a cosmic turning point, a moment when heaven and earth realign. It is the year where the green serpent and the sacred lamp converge, the year when humanity witnesses tens of millions displaced by war and natural disaster, endures global economic turbulence, and faces the erosion of moral and social values. Yet it is also the year in which the universe offers an invitation to awaken. Those who can read the signs will cross this passage in peace. Those who remain numb will be swept away by the tide. Dear ones of the Great Purification, do not let this once-in-a-millennium light fade. Let Feng Shui become the lamp that illuminates both your home and your inner world. Let the green serpent remind you to shed your old skin. Let the sacred lamp keep the flame of compassion alive within you. When you do so, you are not merely living for this year. You are aligning yourself with the 1,000-year cycle that is now unfolding. When heaven's gate has opened and the lunar rhythm rings the bell of awakening, Feng Shui ceases to be just the art of spatial arrangement. It becomes the energy map left by the ancients to guide humanity into the Great Purification. Now, as we pass beyond the midpoint of 2025, we can clearly see that global economic crises, political upheavals, and natural disasters are resonating with the hidden codes of Feng Shui, signs that the Great Purification continues to intensify and will rise in force through the year's end. The green serpent, symbolizing the earthly branch of Ti, embodies wisdom, adaptability, and transformation. The serpent never boasts, but it always knows when to shed its skin and begin anew. In cosmic philosophy, it is the emblem of rebirth and renewal, And today's reality mirrors that truth. Across Europe, inflation destabilizes governments. In South America, riots spread as food prices soar. In the Middle East, new conflicts erupt. All of it compels humanity to shed its illusion of stability and face the fragility of its systems. The fire of the sacred lamp, a gentle flame that glows through the night, does not burn fiercely, but it endures, guiding the lost. Fuk means blessing, Dung means light, and Hua means fire. Together, they form the inner flame of faith. In this year of upheaval, the sacred lamp represents the quiet yet unbreakable belief that carries humanity through chaos. Reality has made this clear. Millions of families in South Asia have lost everything to floods. Millions of hectares of forest in Europe have burned under record heat. Millions in Africa have been forced to migrate due to drought. Yet amid that darkness, communities and volunteers still carry lanterns into the night, organizing rescue missions, sharing food, rebuilding homes. That is the sacred fire shining through daily life. When the green serpent coils around the sacred lamp, their energies unite to deliver a dual message to humanity. First, transform in silence. Second, hold steadfast to your inner faith. Wood gives birth to fire, and when the serpent's green energy meets the flame, a deep purification begins. Quiet, subtle, yet profoundly transformative. We have witnessed this vibration throughout the first half of the year. Many have changed their way of life, abandoning extravagance for simplicity, letting go of extreme ideologies, and returning to the calm of community. These are the subtle resonances of the Great Purification spreading through the world. Feng Shui this year transcends direction and color. It becomes the art of illuminating the soul. Those attuned to its rhythm can sense what must be released and what deserves renewal. They adjust their surroundings accordingly. Soft light to calm the mind, touches of green to nurture the wood element, and gentle red hues to sustain hope. In a time when global stock markets burn red and faith in financial systems wavers, keeping one's home warm and serene becomes the deepest act of feng shui. The Great Purification is not always loud. It often unfolds in stillness. The green serpent does not roar. It coils and waits for the right moment. The oil lamp does not blaze. It glows patiently. Those who flow with the current let go of what is false, allowing the universe to cleanse illusion and purify consciousness. That is the only way to pass through the storm. This is not myth. It is a real turning of the ages. And we are the fortunate ones living within it. When the green serpent and the sacred lamp shine together, when economies, politics, and nature all test the human spirit at once. The universe will not wait forever. This millennial energy will eventually fade, and if missed, humanity must wait centuries for its return. Dear souls of the Great Purification, see this as your call to act. Let feng shui become your path of awakening. Let the warm light illuminate your home. Let the green serpent whisper to your spirit. Let purity itself become your most powerful act. For in doing so, you do not merely live through 2025. You live fully within the 1,000-year cycle of transformation now unfolding before your eyes. When the laws of time, cosmic energy, and feng shui all resonate as one, we can clearly see that every sign now converges toward a single point, the light. What remains to be unveiled is the great intelligence behind these symbols, the hidden essence guiding the current of existence itself. In this sixth part, we will journey deeper into the dimension of the universe, where the Great Purification is no longer a metaphor, but a radiant truth. A beam of divine illumination shining upon every soul, preparing humanity for the most powerful transformation at the end of this year. Dear ones, in the vast depth of heaven and earth, the universe has never been silent. It is an eternal symphony between light and shadow, a river of life that flows without end. And now, as we have passed more than half of the year 2025, the year called Once in 1,000 Years, we can hear more clearly than ever the soundless bell of awakening. The call of the Great Purification still echoes across the earth, vibrating through the very roots of the human soul. This purification does not arrive with flamboyant fire or the roar of battle drums. It comes as light, quiet yet penetrating, slipping through the deepest corners of consciousness. Like the dawn sneaking through the cracks of a door, like the morning rays piercing a thick mist over the mountains, that light whispers a sacred reminder. Awaken and return to your true self. Even now, this light continues to spread stronger each day, The secret of the universe is not some distant mystery. It is the present moment, waiting for us to open our hearts. When the heart opens, the universe speaks. For thousands of years, the ancients used symbols to awaken the essence within. That light is not somewhere far away. It lives in the rhythm of your heartbeat, in every breath you take. As the world sinks into economic and political chaos, with stock markets collapsing, nations in crisis, and wars escalating in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, every soul must find inner light to stay upright, to keep breathing in stillness. We can see this sacred light revealed through the simplest acts. When someone chooses to clear away clutter and live simply, when a family leaves the city to return to the countryside amidst soaring prices, when a young man gives up the pursuit of wealth to care for his aging parents, when a woman steps away from the endless race of work to write and meditate each morning. These are not random decisions. They are responses to the call of the cosmos. In this once in 5,000 years turning point, such choices are the gateways through which one walks across the threshold of purification. The universe is one unified body. When one person purifies, the vibration of the whole shifts, like a pebble dropped into still water, creating ripples that expand endlessly. Ancient wisdoms, both East and West, remind us that the Great Purification is not an external event, but the natural movement of the cosmos, and we are not outside of it. Every time we let go of a lie, forgive a wound, or choose to live truthfully, we participate in that cosmic symphony. We become living proof that we are present in this rare, sacred moment of human history. The light of purification is not a blinding fire of war. It is like cool water rising from deep within the earth, like gentle rain softening parched ground. And this year, as Japan faces a technical recession, as the UK wavers in political turmoil, as Europe burns under record heat, and as South Asia endures devastating floods sweeping away countless homes, it is clear that the universe is ringing the bell of purification, not as a metaphor, but through visible upheaval. Each day of 2025 becomes a fragment of light, piercing into the heart, reminding us that we are children of heaven and earth, that we can cleanse, release, and awaken. And in those humble, sincere acts, the great purification unfolds. From families to communities, from every small step, the process expands. A 1,000-year event may be rare, but each moment can become a new beginning. Those who awaken this year will see that every ordinary gesture can transform into light. A simple embrace becomes healing. A truthful word becomes a lamp in the dark. A step returning home becomes a sacred rite of renewal. These are signs that the universe has called, and we have answered. The cosmic light does not wait for the perfect. It opens its gate for anyone who still carries even a tiny spark within. That small spark will grow stronger through sincerity. So if you are hearing these words, it means you have been called. You have already stepped through the rarest of doors. Do not let it fade. Let that light guide you deeper. Allow the great purification to unfold in every breath, in every thought, in every act of return. In everyday life, this light can be felt when we turn away from screens and the noise of endless news. When we sit quietly with a cup of tea, listen to a piece of calming music, or simply watch sunlight streaming through the window. In this extraordinary year, these moments, seemingly small, are miracles, streams of purity flowing through the desert of chaos. The light also appears in the unspoken questions of the soul. Why do I live? How much falseness still hides within me? Whom have I truly forgiven? Whom have I truly loved? When we dare to answer with honesty, purification happens. Someone may ask, can this light be touched? The answer is no, it cannot be held, but it can be felt. When we stop competing, stop forcing, and allow ourselves to pause, we begin to feel the heart grow lighter and the space around us widen. That is when the universe begins to shine through, when the dust of ignorance starts to fall away. Nature itself testifies that after every rain comes renewal. The rain does not boast, yet it washes away the grime and softens the earth so that seeds may sprout. The Great Purification is that rain, and we are now standing in the midst of this cosmic monsoon. When humanity faces crises, economic collapse, political unrest, and natural disasters, these are not punishments, but the softening of the soil so that the soul can germinate anew. Look around, and you will see many awakening. Not because of media influence, but because they can feel the purifying waves. Some leave toxic jobs in search of peace. Others depart from bustling cities to return to the simplicity of their hometowns. Some release painful relationships to rediscover inner healing. All of these are sacred rituals within the Great Purification. The light of the universe is a promise that amid the dust of human struggle, life still blossoms. That even within storms of economics and politics, the heart can still beat in peace. That even in fear, one can choose faith. Even in despair, one can choose love. Every step of awakening strengthens the rhythm of purification. Like a stream flowing through the desert, like a lullaby after the storm. Let every breath slowed down become a prayer. Let every simple act become a cosmic ceremony. Let every small renunciation become a mark of light. These words are not meant to weave myths, but to awaken sincerity within us. Each ray of light is a witness. Each moment of stillness is a silent prayer. The Great Purification does not force. It opens only when we choose to walk with calm hearts and true devotion. And now, as we pass the halfway point of this sacred year, the universe gently reminds us that the opportunity remains, but not forever. Let the light guide you. Let the purification begin from your own heart. Then you will see that once in 1,000 years is not merely a number on the calendar, but a holy gateway where the soul is cleansed, reborn, and loved anew. And when the light permeates every breath, when the Great Purification reveals itself through each worldly event, the question arises, how can we apply this into daily life? Not only in scriptures, not only in temples or retreats, but right here, in our homes, workplaces, and city streets. Now we enter part 7, where we will reflect and practice the purification of body, mind, and environment, so that this once-in-a-millennium light will not pass us by in vain, but be transformed into mindful living, moment by moment. Dear ones, in this modern rhythm of haste and noise, we often assume a year is merely the passage of time. But as we step into 2025, the year marked once in 1,000 years, each day becomes a turning point of transformation. And now, as humanity crosses the midpoint of that year, we see ever more clearly that the Great Purification is no longer a concept, but a way of living, happening each minute, each breath. First, look to the nearest space, your home, your room, your desk. When the surroundings overflow with clutter, the mind cannot find peace. Psychological studies reveal that cleaning is not just a physical task, it is a form of therapy, restoring a sense of control, a spiritual purification of the psyche. Many have shared that simply discarding an old file or rearranging a bookshelf suddenly brings lightness and ease throughout the day. That is the Great Purification entering the details of daily life. One person, while organizing their library by theme, found themselves touching each book and recalling forgotten dreams, and from that began to write again what was once left unfinished. Such a seemingly trivial act becomes a sacred ritual of soul restoration, a way to bring the call of purification into reality. Stepping beyond the walls of home, even a small park nearby is enough to reconnect with nature. As the world faces extreme climate shifts, Europe enduring record-breaking heat and raging wildfires across millions of hectares, South Asia flooded with hundreds of thousands losing their homes, we realize the preciousness of each breath of clean air. Scientific studies affirm that just 20 minutes walking among trees can reduce stress, improve sleep, and strengthen the immune system. That is the purifying gift the universe offers humanity amid chaos. And if you do not have access to deep forests, even a single potted plant, a small bouquet of flowers, or a window open to the sunlight can become a symbol of rebirth. Many people place a small golden lamp beside a green plant and call it the dawn within the house, a way to awaken the breath of the cosmos amid the crowded cityscape. Next comes the breath itself. Sit still for 5 minutes and simply observe the rhythm of inhaling and exhaling. No judgment, no effort. Just breathe. As the breath deepens, the mind is washed clean. Modern neuroscience confirms that meditation reduces anxiety, enhances memory, and regulates emotions. Amid global economic instability, stock market plunges, rising inflation, and growing political turmoil in the Middle East, the mindful breath is the inner purification, the sacred cleansing from within. Beyond the breath lies another secret, the art of knowing what is enough. Some have shared that by simply turning off the internet for one evening, sitting quietly with a cup of tea and writing letters to friends, they felt human warmth return. At a time when the FAO reports that global food prices have risen nearly 10% compared to the same period last year, and millions are forced to abandon their homes due to ongoing wars, such small moments become seeds of peace, linking the thousand-year purification with humanity's timeless desire to live in connection. Communities, too, are awakening. Many families are replacing the cold concrete in front of their homes with small vegetable gardens or spending weekends walking slowly through the park. Not to chase performance or health goals, but to breathe, to listen, to talk gently with one another. They call it the ritual of returning, a day to renew the spirit. These simple rituals are what transform a once-in-5,000-year event into something vivid and alive within every home. In offices, when a desk is cleared, meaningless papers are discarded, a family photo is placed nearby, and colleagues begin to see each other as kin, work ceases to be a burden. It becomes a shared field that everyone tends together. That, too, is the Great Purification, manifested in the modern workplace. All of these examples show that the Great Purification is not somewhere distant or mystical. It unfolds in every breath, every object, every small decision we make. It is a return to simplicity, to mindfulness, to reverence for detail. And within such a way of living, we begin to see the true meaning of this once-in-a-millennium year. Therefore, the practical application of purification in daily life is not secondary. It is the key itself. For only by entering the world can we realize that purification is not a gift from heaven, but something we hold in our own hands, in the smallest act, in the song of the evening birds, in a single beam of sunlight streaming through the window. And once we perceive this truth, once we begin to reorganize our lives, to calm the mind, to open our hearts to nature, a deeper question begins to arise. Could it be that our ancestors once endured similar transformations? Could it be that within the treasury of ancient wisdom lies guidance for this very age, the age of the Great Purification, which is now surging ever more powerfully toward the end of 2025? Let us then step into part 8, to listen to the echoes of antiquity, to rediscover the teachings of the sages, and to see that true wisdom has never left the modern world. Beloved ones, amid the restless turbulence of today's world, as humanity passes the midpoint of 2025, the signs are unmistakable. Political upheavals, economic strain, and natural calamities have swept across continents. The Great Purification is no longer a prophecy. It is unfolding before our very eyes, every day, every hour, and it will intensify as the year draws to a close. Within this whirlpool, the voice of ancient wisdom returns, not as dogma or sermon, but as a cool autumn breeze guiding weary souls through this once-in-a-thousand-year trial. The ancients taught that heaven and earth move by rhythm, that all things have a natural pulse, and only by living in harmony with it can one find peace. As humanity now faces an energy crisis, soaring inflation, and wars showing no sign of ceasefire, these truths resound louder than ever. Alongside them come record-breaking disasters. Wildfires raging across Europe, floods swallowing South Asia, and superstorms striking Central America. All reminders that the universe itself is pressing humanity to awaken and return to the right path. Those who awaken amid this purification no longer live in fear, for they have discovered the light already present in each breath. The ancients taught that to live close to nature is to cleanse the heart. One need not flee deep into the mountains. It is enough to touch the coolness of flowing water, or listen to the rustle of leaves to feel the heart grow still. This is not mere meditation. It is alignment with the rhythm of the cosmos. In truth, after the recent waves of record heat, many cities across Asia and Europe have encouraged residents to create green spaces and grow plants indoors to relieve stress and restore their spirit. This is the ancient teaching reborn, a living testimony of the Great Purification in our time. The ancients burned incense not for fragrance, but for rhythm, the curling smoke that slows the breath and turns the gaze inward. Today, as conflicts in the Middle East escalate, many are returning to these humble rituals. A single stick of incense is enough to calm the heart, a reminder that the universe purifies not through violence, but through light and breath. The ancients taught planting a tree is planting hope, sowing not for fruit, but for the joy of seeing life rise again. In this very moment, as millions of hectares of the Amazon and Siberian forests burn, and as the United Nations warns of an urgent need to reforest the planet to balance the climate, that teaching becomes a matter of survival. It is no longer symbolic. It is the living embodiment of purification through action, the restoration of life from its roots. The sages also emphasize the art of human relations, a kind inquiry, a sincere smile, a compassionate gaze. Each can save a soul. In today's divided and unstable world, from uprisings in South America to political turmoil in Africa and street riots across the West, this teaching shines as a light of healing for humanity's fractured heart. A timely greeting can soothe a wounded heart. That too is the Great Purification manifesting through human kindness. The ancients reminded us that true learning is not about accumulating more, but about releasing what is unnecessary. In reality, many have been forced to change their habits of consumption due to financial crises. When interest rates soar and food prices climb, returning to a simple life is no longer a philosophy. It becomes a necessity. Those who know how to let go walk lightly through the storm of purification with peace in their hearts. The sages also said that to remain still in times of chaos is the greatest victory. Amid global uncertainty, some have learned to stand firm with nothing but a steady breath, to pause, to observe, and to simply be. That is the truest triumph within the storm. The Great Purification, therefore, is not a miracle from the heavens, but the human ability to remain calm in the midst of the tempest. Even the teachings about water hold profound strength. When one touches a stream and listens to its flow, the heart remembers it is never alone. Today, as millions are forced to abandon their homes due to floods, the value of water becomes unmistakably clear. Water is both a threat and a teacher. Only those who respect and preserve it can truly live in rhythm with the universe. Ancient wisdom is not distant. It lives in every gesture, every breath, every return to nature, and to the compassion within the human heart. In this once-in-5,000-year moment, we need these teachings more than ever, to understand that purification is not loud or dramatic, but as subtle and graceful as morning dew. To realize that light does not only shine in the heavens, but within every single day of our lives. And above all, the ancients taught gratitude. Gratitude for being alive in such a rare time when the gates of purification are wide open. Even after months of turmoil, from political crises to relentless natural disasters, if we still have breath, family, and a single smile, then light still remains. Gratitude is the key that opens the door to walk through the Great Purification with a renewed soul. After listening to the echoes of the ancients, we begin to understand that the Great Purification is not a singular event, but a recurring cycle that has visited humanity many times before. So let us move into part 9 to compare this current once-in-5,000-year era with past purifications and to uncover the divine pattern of evolution that the universe has woven for mankind. Beloved ones, when we listen to the pulse of the cosmos resonating across the horizon, we realize that the Great Purification does not end with this year. Yet 2025, the extraordinary year we are now more than halfway through, marks a rare convergence, the decisive opening of a millennial cycle that continues even now, growing in intensity as it prepares for its great climax at year's end. History reveals that humanity has faced such purifying years before, each taking a different form. At times it came as plague, sweeping across nations, taking millions of lives, awakening compassion in those who remained. After such dark seasons, small communities rebuilt their homes, revived their farmlands, and from unity, life blossomed anew. That too was purification. Not loud, but persistent, like water seeping into dry earth to nourish hidden seeds of renewal within the human heart. There were also years of war, when cities crumbled and nations burned. Yet from the ashes, survivors lit their lamps once more, reopened schools, and let the laughter of children echo again. In those moments, the light of rebirth triumphed over hatred. And in truth, our world today is not so different. As the conflict in Eastern Europe drags on and tensions in the Middle East escalate, millions have become refugees. Yet even amid chaos, small communities rise, building makeshift classrooms, field hospitals, and planting seeds of hope. This is proof that purification and rebirth always move hand in hand. At times, the Great Purification manifests through collective labor. In the past, communities came together to build bridges, repair roads, and mend the fractures of society. Such acts not only restored infrastructure, but healed the collective heart. Today, as the global economy trembles under the weight of inflation, many nations are being called to restructure, to rebuild trust from the ground up, a form of purification that renews the very way humanity operates. History also records years of climatic upheaval that forced people to migrate and change their way of life. Those years were not merely disasters, they were turning points. And now, as both Asia and Europe endure record-breaking heat waves, as floods in South Asia sweep away hundreds of thousands of homes, we see reflections of the past repeating. Humanity is once again being pushed to adapt, to seek sustainable ways of living in harmony with the earth. That is the echo of the Great Purification resounding through time. There have also been eras when faith and culture were forgotten, only to be reborn. When societies grew weary and hollow, people turned back to their roots, to ancient texts, to the path of truth. We see this happening again today. Amid political unrest and a global crisis of trust, many young people are choosing meditation, minimalism, and small community connections to preserve the purity of the human spirit. This is the golden thread linking past and present. There have been years when even small natural disasters awakened entire communities. An earthquake, a storm, a flood that brought people together to rebuild homes, share meals, and rekindle compassion. And now, in this very year, we witness the same. In just the first 6 months, tens of millions have been displaced. From the floods of Bangladesh to the fires of California to the earthquakes in Turkey. Through these trials, humanity is being reminded once again, no one stands alone. If we were to list them, the pandemic was the first wave, wars the second, climate migration the third, the cultural value crisis the fourth, and natural disasters awakening humanity the fifth, then the year 2025 is the convergence of them all. Economic downturns, political unrest, extreme climate shifts, and cultural disarray have all merged into a single, thunderous symphony. Yet within that chaos lies the overture of a great purification, the prelude to humanity's renewal. Perhaps those previous years were merely the tests, and now we stand at the final exam of this 1,000-year cycle. As the world witnesses markets burning red, food prices soaring nearly 10% in just half a year, and social unrest spreading from Africa to South America, it becomes clear this is no longer just an economic or political storm, but a sacred orchestration urging humanity to choose its direction. No one can escape this wave, yet each soul can still choose how to walk through it. Those who can let go, live mindfully, and keep kindness in their hearts will pass through the storm in peace. Those who cling to the old will be swept away. It is nature's law. The river washes away the residue to keep its current pure. When we look back through history and reflect on the present, it becomes clear. The Great Purification has never been an external event, but an inner calling. And this very year, as we cross the midpoint of 2025, amidst relentless upheavals, each of us is being asked to choose light, to step into the remaining months with renewed awareness, to become creators of the new world rather than victims of the old. As we move into the next part of this journey, we shall contemplate the essence of this entire process, the self-purification that opens the gate to a new earth, where every step is illuminated, and the future is no longer a distant dream, but a living reality born from awakened living today. Dear ones, together we have traveled through 10 sacred chapters, from recognizing that 2025 is a once-in-a-millennium year, to decoding the hidden numbers, cosmic alignments, geomancy, and divine timing, exploring the wisdom of the ancients, and comparing this era to past purifications in human history. Now, as humanity moves beyond the halfway mark of this year, the Great Purification continues to intensify, gathering force toward its crescendo at year's end. Imagine each soul as a crystal prism, transparent and luminous. From every direction, beams of light converge upon it. The stains of history, the dust of old consciousness begin to fall away, until from within, a new radiance bursts forth. Many have already felt this awakening during the first half of the year, as economic crises swept from Europe to Asia, as inflation and job loss forced people to pause, to reevaluate their lives and abandon what no longer served them. They began to live lighter, simpler, and that, in truth, is the essence of self-purification. It is not a grand revolution, but a series of small, quiet choices. To let go of an old item in the house, to stop chasing a hollow social ideal, to pause for a few days, breathe, and rest. These seemingly ordinary actions are how the human spirit harmonizes with the rhythm of the cosmos. And this becomes even more vital now, as the United Nations warns that over 13 million people have been displaced in just 6 months due to wars and natural disasters, from Ukraine and Gaza to Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh. Europe has endured its fiercest heat waves, scorching millions of hectares of forest, while global food prices, according to the FAO, have surged nearly 10%. In such times, purifying one's inner world is no longer optional. It is essential. The future is no longer something distant. It is shaped by every breath we take. If we live each day in fear, tomorrow will be steeped in anxiety. But if we live each day with clarity and gratitude, the door to light will open wide before us. Thus, the Great Purification is not about changing the world through miracles from the outside. It is about transforming the way we see the world and ourselves. When the light within awakens, the outer world naturally follows. Some people have tried a simple practice. Each morning they whisper to themselves, "Today I will shine. I will love myself more. I will release what no longer belongs." And over time, they notice work becomes less heavy, relationships less strained, and the future less like a battlefield, more like a peaceful path lined with wildflowers. That is when self-purification becomes a way of life, when inner light itself begins to guide the path. The universe confirms this truth, not through theories, but through events, through a year built upon a rare numerical structure, through cosmic rhythms so unusual that 2 springs fall within a single leap month, through the geomantic symbols of the green serpent and the flame of blessing, through the simultaneous rise of natural disasters and political upheaval. All of it forms a corridor, a sacred passage for those who can see. For those awake, the future is no longer uncertain. It is already waiting. I once heard it said, "A person who purifies themselves is like a still lake. No song, no sound, yet its surface is so clear that the stars above are reflected perfectly. Whoever gazes into it will see their own reflection." The same is true for the future. It does not require prophecy or divination. When the heart is pure enough, direction reveals itself. And when humanity walks through the end of 2025 with peaceful hearts, they will realize they have already stepped beyond the old cycle. Look around. Those who have learned to release have become beacons of light for their families, their communities. They do not preach loudly, but live quietly and awake. Some raise their children with calm awareness and wisdom. Others walk beside friends with gentle listening and without judgment. These are seeds of light being sown, and soon they will grow into forests. The universe will multiply them. 1,000 years from now, those who lived truthfully in this time will not call 2025 the year of chaos, but the year humanity finally awakened, the year that opened a new civilization, when light rose from the heart of darkness. And they will be proud, for they rediscovered the radiance within their own souls. The Great Purification is not a myth. It is the universe's promise. We can touch it in a single mindful breath, a single act of release, a single gesture of love, a tidy room, a look of gratitude. When we practice these things, the future ceases to be far away. It manifests in every step we take today. Dear ones, if you have come this far, it means you are ready. Let the light move through you. Let the purified heart become the window through which the light of the cosmos shines. And may the future overflow with brilliance. For in this sacred year of 2025, at the close of a 1,000-year cycle, you are writing a new chapter for humanity. Amidst a world shaken by economic turmoil, political unrest, harsh climates, and spreading wars, listening to ancient wisdom remains the true path back to the source of light, the path of purification, of awakening, of peace. May the light of the universe illuminate your every step. May the storms of this year be only the fire that strengthens the seed of serenity within your heart. If this journey has touched you, please show your support. Like this message, share your reflections in the comments, and subscribe to The Great Purification to continue walking together on this sacred path of awakening. May your body be calm, your heart steady, and your soul radiant in this powerful time when the Great Purification continues to unfold.